Have you ever watched someone glide past obstacles that keep you stuck and thought, what do they know that I don't? Here's the answer most people never hear. Weakness isn't a personality. It's a pattern. It's a series of teachable, repeatable habits that hand your power to other people. One small compromise at a time. If you don't crush those patterns, they will quietly crush you. Niccolo Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He wrote that men judge more by the eye than by the hand, because everyone sees what you appear to be, and few experience what you really are. Translation: the world reads your signals and pays you accordingly. Today, I'm going to help you change those signals, rewrite those patterns, and build a presence that earns respect without begging for it. This isn't about becoming cruel. It's about becoming clear. A fox to recognize traps, a lion to deter wolves, as Machiavelli advised. Weakness is the fog that makes you miss both the trap and the teeth. Strength is not volume, it's voltage. It's the steady current of standards plus strategy. When people feel that current, they calibrate to you. When they don't feel it, they calibrate you. You already know which side you've been living on. The calendar you don't control, the meetings you don't need, the conversations you dodge, the favors you grant to buy approval that never comes. Today you pivot, not by yelling louder, but by changing leverage. Your habits, your boundaries, your visibility, your alternatives. Keep listening, because I'll give you a concrete system you can run starting today. First, a necessary distinction. Being loved and being feared are not opposites. Being respected sits between them. Machiavelli said it is safer to be feared than loved if you cannot be both, but he also warned against hatred. That's the nuance people miss. You don't need to intimidate anyone. You need to become someone whose boundaries are predictable, whose word is reliable, and whose consequences are consistent. Respect grows where standards and certainty meet. Weakness, by contrast, is inconsistency in disguise. Apologizing for existing, masking irritation, swallowing dissent, hinting instead of stating, waiting instead of deciding. If you do that long enough, people stop asking what you want because you've trained them not to. We are going to untrain them by retraining you. The system has 3 movements: recognition, recode, replace. Recognition means naming the precise behavior that leaks power in context. Recode means rewriting the rule your brain currently follows. Replace means running a new behavior with a pre-planned script and measuring the result. Simple doesn't mean easy, but simple is how we scale courage. Let's run it once. Context: a colleague interrupts you in meetings and repackages your ideas. Old pattern: freeze, smile, and hope the work speaks for itself. New rule: my voice is an asset I must protect in real time. New behavior: short, calm, explicit boundary plus a pivot to visibility. For example, I'm going to finish my point, and then I'd love your build. Then finish and close with, let's make sure this action is attributed and visible on the brief. No anger, just consequence. Another context: you overcommit because saying no feels selfish. Old pattern: default yes, later resentment, quiet burnout. New rule: every yes taxes future me. Only mission critical earns the spend. New behavior: the 3-sentence no. Sentence 1, a clear decline. Sentence 2, a brief constraint. Sentence 3, an alternative that costs you little. Example: I can't take this on this week. I'm at capacity on deliverables tied to our quarterly targets. If it's still live next Monday, send me the scope and I'll point you to the fastest option. That is the fox and the lion in one breath. You recognize the trap, and you present teeth of prioritization. Notice the tone stays cool. Authority doesn't need volume. It needs proof you will enforce your line. Power also starts before noon. Your phone is the easiest way to let other people set your agenda. Old pattern: wake, scroll, absorb everyone's urgency, chase notifications until your attention is in pieces. New rule: inputs after outputs. New behavior: a 15-minute sovereignty block before any screen. One line about what matters today. One hard thing first. One message to a stakeholder that increases your visibility. Machiavelli noted that men judge by appearances. change what they see. They should see a person who moves first, who frames the day, who publishes value proactively. When you do this for 10 weekdays, people start asking for your time on your terms. That shift is not luck. It's how standards signal, here's the contrast you must hold. Nice is easy. Clear is kind. Approval is cheap. Respect is expensive. Comfort is pleasant now. Growth is pleasant later. Weakness dilutes you. Strength concentrates you. Every choice feeds one of those columns. If you drift, ambiguity chooses for you. So decide. Decide that your life is a state you govern. Decide that you will be both fox and lion. Decide that your reputation will be built on consistency, not convenience. Decision alone won't carry you, but it sets the weather for action. We'll install the skills in the next sections. How to convert emotion into calculation without becoming cold. How to earn respect without theatrics. How to detach without withdrawing. And how to become the consequence others plan around. Before we go further, make a private commitment, not a performance. Say quietly, I will not outsource my dignity. Now prove it once. Identify one recurring moment where you leak power. Name the rule you've been following. Write a rule that serves your long-term interests. Draft one sentence you will speak next time. Place it where you'll see it before the moment arrives. That is how strength becomes visible, then habitual, then assumed. People will feel the shift before they can explain it. You won't be louder. You'll be undeniable. Start now, and let your actions teach everyone how to treat you today. Let's start with the lever that upgrades every decision, converting emotion into calculation. Emotions are signals, not steering wheels. When you treat them as data, you keep your power and improve your aim. Use this loop in the moment. Notice, name, narrow, navigate. Notice the body tells first. Heat, tightness, racing thoughts. Name it in a sentence. I feel anger because my boundary was crossed. Narrow the outcome. What result do I want 3 moves from now? Navigate with the smallest decisive act that serves that result. You stayed human, but you responded like a strategist, not a reactor today. A practical tool inside that loop is labeling. Neuroscience shows that simply putting feelings into words reduces their intensity. Use a quiet, private phrase. This is anxiety, not danger. This is shame, not truth. This is excitement, not certainty. Then buy a beat with a tactical pause. Breathe in 4, hold 2, breathe out 6. Long exhales turn down adrenaline. Now frame the board with 3 questions. What is the actual objective? What leverage do I have? What cost am I willing to pay? The moment you ask, your brain recruits logic and your choices expand. Clarity creates control fast. Next, earn respect without theatrics. You don't need volume. You need verifiable clarity. When the line is crossed, use a simple structure. Situation, behavior, impact, request. Situation anchors the context. Behavior states the observable action. Impact names the cost. Request defines the standard. Example, in Tuesday's review, when my point was interrupted twice, the discussion lost key details and delayed decisions. Please hold your input until I finish, then I'll invite your view. That's firm, fair, and specific. Add presence, steady tone, low pace, open shoulders, forward lean. People trust cues that conserve energy and demonstrate control. Understate, don't perform. Power grows when you're unattached to a single outcome because you have alternatives. Build them deliberately. For any negotiation, write your BATNA, best alternative to a negotiated agreement. Then stack 2 more acceptable paths. If you're pursuing a role, cultivate parallel opportunities. If you're pitching a client, design a no-regret deliverable you can repurpose elsewhere. Detachment is not apathy. It's diversified leverage. Say this silently before key conversations. I want the best outcome, and I'm prepared for any outcome. That line frees your voice. People sense neediness. They also sense someone who can walk without drama. Options equal oxygen. Your time is your throne room. Guard access. Install default defenses that remove the need for courage every hour. Use calendar fences, focus blocks, decision windows, and office hours. Focus blocks are protected sprints with notifications off. Decision windows are short slots where you review requests against priorities. Office hours are the only times others can book you without approval. Pair the fences with language. Example, I don't do ad hoc meetings. Send an agenda and objective and I'll confirm a slot. Example, I can't start this week. I'll revisit Friday and propose next steps. Clear rules create automatic respect. Comfort is a sneaky thief. You can beat it with exposure, not bravado. Build a discomfort practice with progressive overload. Choose 2 small daily frictions on purpose, one physical, one social or mental. Physical might be a cold finish to your shower, a hill sprint or a hard set. Social might be a clean ask, a direct no, or a public share of work. Mental might be focused deep work for 90 minutes. Log completion, not feelings. Over time, your nervous system learns that discomfort brings reward instead of danger. Confidence compounds because evidence replaces speculation. Keep promises to yourself. Power is not just what you do. It's what others can see you've done. Visibility is leverage. Publish progress without bragging. Use one-line updates that tie actions to outcomes. Example, shipped client dashboard. Reduced reporting time by 40%. Example, closed 2 tickets. Unblocked engineering on release. Create a weekly scoreboard that shows inputs you control and outputs you influence. Share it with stakeholders before they ask. People respect what is measured and communicated. It also protects your contributions from being repackaged by louder voices. Quiet consistency, publicly documented, is a reputation engine that runs while you sleep. Let results speak. What about manipulators? Predictable emotion gives them handles. Predictable standards take handles away. When someone guilt trips, reframe to facts and choices. Example, if I cared, I would help becomes I care, and I'm still not available this week. When someone triangulates, break the triangle. This belongs with both of us. Let's put it in the same thread. When someone escalates volume, lower yours and slow down. Then ask clarifying questions. What outcome are you aiming for? What constraint are we solving? Most tactics wilt under light. If they persist, name the pattern and the consequence calmly. Consistency makes manipulation expensive. Now a mindset guardrail. Respect is a byproduct of self-respect, not approval farming. If you chase being liked, you will trade standards for smiles. If you anchor in your values, you will sometimes disappoint people and keep their respect. Write 3 identity lines you can live with under pressure. I protect my time. I speak plainly. I honor my word. Keep them visible. When fatigue hits, read them and choose the aligned action, not the easy one. Machiavelli warned against being despised. You avoid that by being reliable, fair, and firm, not by being agreeable. Choose respect over temporary relief. You don't need a new personality to change your power. You need new defaults that run faster than your fear. When emotion spikes, you label and breathe. When lines blur, you use situation, behavior, impact, request. When outcomes matter, you stack alternatives and choose from strength. When comfort calls, you practice small frictions. When credit matters, you measure and publish. When manipulation appears, you turn on light and consequence. Piece by piece, you become the person whose presence organizes the room. Not by threat, but by steadiness. Keep going. The next move is yours, and it starts today. Own it. Power isn't a personality type. It's an operating system, and language is the code. If your words are vague, long, and apologetic, your system runs slow. If your words are short, specific, and steady, your system runs fast. Weakness sounds like hedging. Sorry, this might be dumb, but strength sounds like clarity. Here's my recommendation and why. Small shifts compound. Replace maybe with I will or I won't. Replace I think with I recommend. Replace can we with let's. Replace sorry for the delay with thank you for your patience. Here's the update. These aren't semantics. They are signals that train people how to treat you. As Machiavelli observed, people judge more by the eye than by the hand. Tune what they see and hear. Steady language makes power visible and easily respected. Let's apply that code to personal boundaries, where most power leaks. Family member makes a cutting joke at your expense. Old script, nervous laugh, internal sting, long resentment. New script, stop, that's not a joke to me. Don't do that again. Friend demands last-minute favors. Old script, scramble, cancel your plans, simmer. New script, I'm not available today. Please ask with notice next time partner raises a voice. Old script, match their volume or retreat. New script, I want to talk, but not like this. I'll re-engage when voices are calm. Simple sentences, delivered once, calmly, then enforced. Consequences give boundaries teeth. If the behavior repeats, you end the call, leave the room, or end the plan. No theatrics, just action. At work, clarity wins meetings before they start. Enter with a one-line objective. By the end of this meeting, we decide X. If someone derails, capture and park. Noted. Different topic. Parking it to the dock. When you finish a point, close the loop. Decision requested, approve A or B. If credit drift is a risk, pre-wire stakeholders with concise notes that tie your name to outcomes. After the meeting, send a summary with owner, action, date. If someone interrupts, use the hand and the line. Light palm raise, then, I'm going to finish this thought. Then I'll pass it to you. That phrase is civil and non-negotiable. Most rooms comply with practice certainty. Negotiation is conversation under pressure. Give yourself pressure relief valves. Frame value first, then number. This scope reduces churn and increases lifetime value. The investment is 85K. Anchor with a precise figure. Precision signals calculation. If you face a pushback, ask for a reason and propose trades. What part of the scope is least critical to you? If we remove retention analysis, we can move to 75K. If the answer is still no, protect your standard with a principle. I don't discount quality. I adjust scope. Pause. Silence is a tool. Most concessions rush into voids. Let the other side fill it. Remember your BATNA and your walkaway line. If you cross it, you pay later. Strategic detachment deepens when you define floors and ceilings. Your floor is the least favorable outcome you still accept. Your ceiling is the aspirational outcome you aim for. Decide both before you enter the room. Write them, then script your exit. Given the numbers, I'm going to pass on this now. If your constraints change, reach back. That pre-written line prevents needy improvisation. Detachment also comes from diversification. Build multiple sources of opportunity. 2 networks, 2 skills you can monetize, 2 active leads. Options create posture. As Machiavelli wrote, whoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. Modern translation, update your options before you need them. If comfort is the silent destroyer, uncertainty is the gym. Schedule uncertainty reps. Every week, take 3 measured risks. A request that could be refused, a proposal that could be critiqued, a conversation that could be tense. Track attempts, not wins. Your goal is to teach your system that you survive no, recover from critique, and grow through friction. Pair this with a friction budget. Choose in advance where you will accept inconvenience that expands you. Park farther and walk. Take stairs. Present first. Ask the first question. Volunteer for the messy task. None of these are heroics. They are micro-votes cast for the future you. Identity change sticks when it is documented. Start an evidence journal that records 2 things daily. 1 kept promise to yourself and 1 boundary you enforced. Write the sentence you said, the outcome, and how you'll improve it next time. On Fridays, review patterns. Where did you speak too long? Where did you avoid the ask? Where did you over-explain? Adjust the scripts. Layer in a sovereignty ritual at night. Close the day by listing 3 moves that advanced your aims, then set the single hard action for tomorrow. When morning comes, you are not guessing. You are executing. That is how self-trust compounds. Expect backlash from people who benefited from your softness. They will call your clarity rude, your boundaries selfish, your standards unrealistic. Hold steady. Distinguish guilt from grief. Guilt means you violated your values. Grief means you are shedding a pattern and the comfort it bought. When you misstep, apologize without self-betrayal. Use 3 parts: regret, responsibility, repair. I regret snapping earlier. I interrupted you. I'm putting a break between meetings to prevent it. No groveling, no self-erasure. When you are right, don't apologize. Restate the standard and the consequence. Consistency will teach them your new reality. This is the pivot from prey to presence. You are not chasing approval. You are cultivating respect. You are not performing dominance. You are practicing discipline. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming clear. Each sentence, each boundary, each measured risk is a brick in a fortress you can live in. And because it is built from standards, not spikes, others will feel safer around you, even when they feel challenged. Keep coding your language, stacking your options, and recording your evidence. The person you are building is the person future you will thank. Keep going. The work is working. Power that lasts is built on systems, not spikes. Spikes feel thrilling and fade. Systems look boring and compound. Design your power as an ecosystem you maintain under stress. Start with positioning, because position beats effort. Effort at the bottom fights gravity. Effort from position directs gravity. You gain position by clarifying value, concentrating proof, and controlling access. Clarify value with a one-sentence promise that links what you do to outcomes they care about. Concentrate proof with visible assets, case notes and testimonials that name the metric you moved. Control access by being easy to reach for the right work and unavailable for the wrong work. That triad moves you from commodity to category of one. Inside teams, you scale power by setting standards that raise safety and performance at once. The rule is simple. High kindness, high clarity, high consistency. Kindness means you treat people with dignity. Clarity means roles, goals, and rules are explicit. Consistency means standards are enforced the same way for everyone. Use this meeting opener to set that tone. We are here to decide X within Y time using Z criteria. If debate runs hot, I will pause, restate the question, and call the vote. That lets people relax because they know the frame and the finish. When conflict appears, lead it without theater. Own the room by owning the process. Use a 5-step path. Pause, name, frame, invite, decide. Pause to slow adrenaline. Name the issue in neutral words. Frame the shared outcome. Invite brief inputs with time caps. Decide or assign and close. If someone refuses the process, you have your signal. Side conversations end. Volume drops. Escalation moves to writing. Paper is discipline. Write short, cold, and factual. Here is the issue, the impact, the request, and the deadline. If patterns repeat, state the consequence and follow it. You are not angry. You are consistent. Consistency is what earns respect without fear and without apology. Now map power correctly so you stop pushing on the wrong doors. There are at least 4 kinds of power you can grow. Position power comes from your role. Expert power comes from rare, relevant skill. Relationship power comes from trust and goodwill. Reputation power comes from public proof and predictable delivery. If you lack one, grow the others until the missing one becomes optional. People with no title still move rooms because they own skill, trust, and proof. Do a monthly power audit. List your current role, signature skills, top 5 allies, and visible proof assets. Pick one lever to upgrade each month. That cadence compounds faster than any motivational binge. Future you will look back and wonder when the room started to tip toward you. It tipped when you measured, moved, and messaged your value week after week. Deterrence is another layer most ignore. Deterrence means you do not invite predation because cost is obvious. Signal deterrence with 3 cues. You have alternatives. You keep receipts. You stay calm under pressure. Alternatives are shown, not announced. Receipts mean decisions, agreements, and credits live in writing. Calm is trained by exposure, breathing, and rehearsal. Predators prefer noise and fog. Give them neither. Before big moves, run 2 checks to avoid self-inflicted traps. Do a pre-mortem and an inversion. Pre-mortem question. It is 6 months later and the plan failed. List every reason. Design countermeasures now. Inversion question. If I wanted to ruin this, what would I do next? Then refuse those moves. This is fox work that protects lion work. Finally, make your progress inevitable with environment design. Remove friction from good actions and add friction to bad ones. Lay out clothes, templates, and agendas before you sleep. Block distracting sites during focus hours. Keep your phone in another room during deep work. Store snacks out of reach and tasks in sight. You are not weak. Your environment is ungoverned. Govern it and watch your willpower bill shrink. Above all, become the consequence quietly. That means people consider your standards before they make choices that affect you. They do it because you are predictable, fair, and immovable on the essentials. You do not need to announce it. Your calendar shows it. Your language shows it. Your receipts show it. Your results show it. People who cannot benefit from you will still respect you because the cost of disrespect is clear. People who can benefit from you will invest more because your reliability reduces their risk. That is the dark lesson properly directed. You do not become harsh. You become inevitable. Keep building the ecosystem and keep closing the gaps. Today, make one upgrade in position, one upgrade in process, and one upgrade in proof. Then move on with calm speed. The room will adjust. So will you. To calibrate your edge, build a feedback loop that catches drift before it grows. Once a month, ask 3 people who see your work to answer 3 questions in writing. What do I do that creates outsized value? What do I do that wastes energy? Where do I confuse people? Read without defense, extract patterns, and choose one correction to practice for 30 days. That keeps you sharp without turning you into a slave to opinion. You remain the governor. You just keep your instruments calibrated. In high-stakes rooms, combine empathy with edges. Empathy maps motives. Edges protect terms. Say what the other side wants before you say what you need. Then lay your line and your trade options. People relax when they feel seen, and they respect you when you stay firm. That is how you get both respect and cooperation without sliding into appeasement. Reserve force for the few moments it is required, and document the rest. Force could be a firm no, a firm exit, or a firm escalation to someone with authority. When you use it rarely and precisely, you never need to shout. People will feel the border and steer themselves. That is real power. Keep it close.